You know what time it is. It's time for the September 7th Zendikar Rising spoilers and review by Matt from MTG Ownage. I haven't looked at these at all yet, so I'm ready for a complete surprise. Oh, Negate's back. Yes, I love this card because I like to play it. Oh, and we have, what is this? A Hydra Horror? OMG. Alright, I gotta read this sucker. 3 mana, Ragmaul, Skyclave Ravager, Legendary Creature Hydra Horror 0/0. Oh, comes into play with 3+1/+1 counters on it. Whenever another creature you control dies, if it had a +1/+1 counter, put a +1/+1 counter on Gragmaul. Okay, nothing super great yet. What does this do? Gragmaul dies. Create an XX black green Hydra token where X is the number of +1/+1 counters on Gragmaul. This is actually pretty big. Right, this is a good card. So at the bare minimum, it's a 3/3, and then you kill it, and it's another 3/3. And it's potentially a lot more than that. This is not bad. This is not a bad card. I can see this being played and abused. Alright, next up we have Scavenge Blade. 2 mana common red equipment. Comes into play, auto equip, nice. +2/+0. Re-equip for 3. Negate, I'm happy to see Negate back. It's a card that really helps shut down those combo, wombo, annoying decks. Let's see, we got Skyclave Shade. Ooh, a rare. Let's see it. 3/1 for 2. It can't block. If you kick it for an additional 3, it has 2+1/+1 counters on it, making it a 5/3 landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, if Skyclave Shade is in your graveyard and it's your turn, you may cast it from your yard this turn. Okay, that's pretty good. That's not bad. He's just going to keep coming back. Just a constant 3/1 coming at you all game. Well, it could be even a 5/3. Got plenty of extra mana. We got a common cat who is just ravaging a deer. Hopefully that's Oko. And it's 3 mana for a 2/1. Atropolar. I don't know what that is. Probably nothing super impressive. Looks like it has a landfall +1/+1 until the end of turn, maybe. Not real sure, but it's just a common. Probably not anything too big. Here we've got the rare green flip card. Looks like it's a 3/3 elephant on one side. And landfall +2/+2. Finito del turno, probably end of turn, +2/+2 until the end of turn. It's not too bad for a 3/3. And on the other side, we just got a green mana source, comes to play tapped. I imagine this is something you're pretty much always going to want to play as the creature. So I'm not sure if this is that great of a card because, like, it's not very hard to get 3 mana. And, yeah, he's basically a 5/5. So why not play it as the creature? You're probably never going to play this as the land, but interesting nonetheless. All right, we have another foreign card. Fortification of something, instant +1/+1 on target creature on one side, and land on the other side. This isn't bad. This is like a better Stony Strength, except Stony Strength doesn't untap. This doesn't do an untap, but still. Do an untap? I forget. Not bad. Not too bad for a flip card. Uncommon slot. Nothing super big though. Here we have Scoot Swarm. A 3 mana for a 1/1 insect with landfall. And landfall is you get a little insect token. If you have 6 or more lands, you create a copy of Scoot Swarm instead. Wow, this could get out of control really fast with some mana ramp. Get a bunch of lands into play under control, you could just suddenly have a gazillion little insects just going exponential there. Next up we have Squad Commander, 4 mana 3/3 core warrior. When he enters the battlefield, you get a 1/1 core warrior creature for each a token for each creature in your party at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you have a full party, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain indestructible until the end of turn. This could really pop off, but probably not going to see a whole lot of play just because it's a pretty steep requirement of having at least 4 of a party for it to be really good. Alright, we got Ondu Inversion, the white rare flip card. Destroy all non-land permanents for 8 mana. That's really expensive, but it is destroy artifacts, equipment. Planeswalkers, creatures. That's not bad. And with things like that white ramp card that gets you a wall, Birth of Meletis, it's not too hard to get a lot of mana in white right now. So pretty cool. And of course, you can just make it a land if nothing else. Not not bad. That's something that's probably going to be worth having a copy of in your deck for sure. Nothing else. Just drop a land. All right. Kazandu Stomper. It's a beast. 6/5 trample for 6. When it enters the battlefield, you bounce 2 lands you control to their owner's hand. Now this is actually good because these type of lands, you can bounce them and play them as their whatever later. You can bounce this, you can bounce this, and then you can play it as whatever, just a lot of options like that. But really expensive. No one's probably going to play it just because it's so expensive, but still cool idea nonetheless. We actually have some land bounce. This is the first land bounce I've seen in the set. I was hoping to see a little more to actually make better use of these lands late game if you had to play them early. So at least we got Kazandu Stomper, if nothing else, a 5-armed beast, Rakshasha. You guys know what that is. I think that's what this is supposed to be. It's another D&D thing. This is definitely a D&D themed set. Alright, we have Nahira's Binding up next. Enchantment Aura for 3. Enchant a creature or planeswalker, and it just can't do anything. Alright, that's cool that I can enchant a planeswalker and shut down a planeswalker. And next we have Maddening Cacophony. 2 mana sorcery. Each opponent mills 8 cards. If it was kicked, mills half their library rounded up. Interesting for a mill card. Milling 8s can be pretty significant when you're playing a mill deck, and being able to mill half their library could be a big thing too. Interesting. Mill. I hate going against mill decks though. It drives me nuts. Can we not? Can we just get rid of the? No, that's not going to happen. All right. Next we have Inscription of Insight. Looks like this is the blue one. There's been one of each of these. I don't know what the green one does yet. But anyway, this is a 4 mana sorcery. Choose one. If it was kicked, choose any number. Alright, so you get return 2 creatures to their owner's hands, scry 2, draw 2. Target creature gets an XX illusion, where X is the number of cards in their hand. Now this could be pretty big because if you kick it for 8, you get to bounce 2 things, draw 2 things, and create a big illusion that's 2 larger because you drew 2 cards. Pretty cool. Next we have Skyclave Relic, 3 mana artifact, rare, indestructible. If it was kicked, create 2 additional copies of it, and it taps for a mana of any color. This is a nice mana rock. Not only is it indestructible, directly better than Darksteel Ignite, because you can kick it and get 2 of them if you really want to. So pretty cool. I don't know if it's going to see a whole lot of play because it's a 3-cost mana rock, but still neat. Ooh, a legendary artifact. Here we go. This is one of the big boys, I imagine. All right, 4 mana for a lithoform engine, and it has a whole bunch of different activations. You can pay 2 to copy a triggered ability. You can pay 3 to copy an instant or sorcery. You can pay 4 to copy a permanent spell you control. So, okay. 2 to copy triggered. That's going to be really good on like planeswalkers and stuff. Activated or triggered. 3 to copy instant or sorcery. Oh, wow, this is cool. I need this for one of my decks. Copy target permanent you control. Permanent spell, so it has to be as you cast it. As you cast a planeswalker or creature or something, you can just get an extra copy. Pretty expensive to get going. Does nothing immediately, so you gotta have a lot of mana for this to get going, but just imagine this with Ugin. This is gonna be insane. Alright, next up we have a Ritual. I don't know, is this Portuguese or something? I don't know. 1 green mana for, I think this is a sorcery. You can kick it for an additional 3. Not sure what this says, not even gonna guess, but it's just a common. Next up we have a Kiri, Fearless Voyager. 3 mana, red and white core warrior, 3/3. Whenever you attack a player with 1 or more equipped creatures, draw a card. That's not bad. Drawing cards is pretty nice, and red white's really gearing up to be an equipped type deck, so card advantage is always good. You can pay a white to unattach an equipment from a creature you control. If you do, tap that creature and it gains indestructible till the end of turn. So that's pretty nice. You can pay white mana and in theory save any creature that's equipped. Pretty cool. Not a bad Fearless Voyager, legendary guy. Alright, next up we have another legendary artifact. Wow. 5 mana for a legendary artifact. Colorless creatures you control get +2/+2. Whenever you tap a mana for colorless, add an additional colorless. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, you gain 2 life. Very interesting card. Pretty pricey for what it does, but I could see it being played. It's in the mythic slot. It does a lot of cool stuff. It's like, seems to be for the Eldrazi decks pretty much, or the inevitable Ugin decks that are coming up where everyone just plays colorless creatures. This could be pretty big. All right, next up we have Molten Blast. Okay, nice modal card here. Instant. I think it's a braid basically, except it costs more. Destroy target artifact or 2 damage to a creature or planeswalker. Pretty nice options there. Gotta have a way to shut down artifacts. It looks like coming up in the future. Looks like there's some new strong ones, and of course there's still the Great Henge and Embercleave, which are still insane. So yeah, nice option to have around. Canyon and Gerbo is next. That's the cutest creature ever. 3 mana for a 1/2 mouse. Let's see. Landfall. Creatures you control get +1/+1 to the end of turn. It's nice that it's all creatures. This is pretty pricey for a Squire. Just a 1/2 for 3. That's probably not going to see much play. But he could help in ending the game. Get that little boost to your army. However, there's probably just going to be better cards to play in the 3-drop slot. But cool card nonetheless. Okay, we got a red X spell. Now here is lithoforming. Oh, okay, I guess someone posted this somewhere earlier. I saw sack X lands, draw. For each land sacked, draw a card. You may play an additional X lands this turn. Lands you control enter the battlefield tapped. Alright, well, it might have some place in some weird combo, but in general, this is not going to be very good. Wayward, Guild Beast, Guide Beast. A 2/2. Okay, what? This is a 1 mana 2/2 trample haste. Oh god. What are you doing, wizards? Okay, let's see what it does. Trample haste. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, return a land you control to its owner's hand. Okay, that's a pretty big drawback. But actually, that's not that big of a drawback because these lands that, you get the damage in and you could bounce a land that you could play as a spell with all these spell lands, modal cards. So that seems like a drawback, but that could actually be an advantage late game. First turn, it's not going to be an advantage. That's gonna wreck you if you returning your only land to your hand. But interesting. I like the design. This card has some potential. I feel like it'll be played at least a little, and maybe it'll be super big. I guess we'll have to play test and wait and see. But Wayward Guide Beast, that's something to look at. There's a reason why Goblin Guide it's such a good card, and this guy fits the criteria maybe even more because he's got haste and trample. Journey to Oblivion. 5 mana white enchantment. Oh, this picture cracks me up. This costs 1 less for each creature in your party, so it could cost just a single white mana. When Journey to Oblivion enters the battlefield, exile a non-land permanent until Journey leaves. Okay, so just another one of these enchantments that exiles a permanent. There seems to be a million of those, but this one might be alright. Just another one, basically. I just want to see a deck that runs every single one of these exile enchantments. There's so many. I guess you could kind of count the 5 mana white one that exiles something that's 3 or more. I can't think of the name of it. But there's like 20 of them in the format. You could just play a deck that literally exiles every permanent your opponent plays. That would be kind of funny. You'd probably get so annoyed after a while. Like, you just exile everything. Of course, they can just wreck your enchantments and it's game over because they get everything back, so it's not that great. But it'd be funny nonetheless. Durana's Silencer. Last card, it's a common. A 6 mana 3/2. Come on, drop the. I don't even know what else it does, but drop this casting cost a little. That's a ridiculous cost for a 3/2. This could say you gain 20 life and your opponent loses 5 life or something, and it would still be bad. Look at that casting cost. Jeez, stop. Vampire Rogue. When it enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets negative X, negative X until the end of turn, where X is the number of creatures in your party. So at the very worst, it's a -1, which is a great deal for 6 mana. Even -4 is not a very good deal for the cost. I guess you gotta have something in the common slots, and maybe I'll be totally wrong for some reason, but this seems like a complete garbage card. Other than I don't know, I could see its place in sealed where any removal's good, but still, you might not even get to play it ever because it costs 6 mana. And it's just a 3/2. All right. Well, we saw some really cool cards: the Wayward Guide Beast, Molten Blast, Forsaken Monument, Kira, the Form Engine, Inscription of Insight, Skyclave, Relic, Maddening Cacophony, Ondu Inversion, Scoot Swarm, Squad Commander. Geez, a lot of cards revealed. This Elephant, Skyclave Shade, a Gate, and a Grackmaw. A lot of cool cards spoiled September 7th. All right, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more Magic the Gathering stuff. Peace out, guys.